And we are back with some more Umineko when they cry. So, where we last left off, aside of the love trial in which Shannon and Kanon, decided that they're gonna do the duel standoff with each other. So it's one of those it's one of those like old-fashioned duels with pistols. So it's interesting per se, although it's gonna be a painless one. So whether it's Kanon or Shannon getting shot, gonna die within like a painless sleep. And then there is the wedding between or aka in the chapter, Demon Wedding Ceremony, in which it is the wedding between Battler, the soulless one, and Erika. The couple of the great demons and Virgilia made an attempt to go up against Dalinor, but unfortunately, it didn't. The debate, Dalinor seems like she decides to turn down the debate because she's like, hey, we're in the middle of a wedding type of thing. Although, that's the thing, right? When it comes to the window logic at the guest house, one room is intact. However, the other room looks like it wasn't even mentioned, but which seems like it's away, but apparently we're not allowed to. So it's kind of weird, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. It's been so long. Got a little bit of a mind refresh, but there was some sort of noise in which I left it at a cliffhanger, so I'm not sure whether someone decided to crash in. So let's see. A deep sound reverberated through the cathedral. It was the sound of the several dozen Giester Sisters Imperial Guards, members of the Honor Guard, who stood in a line across the cathedral and stamped their heels in unison. It brought about total silence even before the demons running the ceremony spoke.
どうか静粛に参列のご来賓諸見よ
領主にして無限の魔術師であらせられるバトラ教と真実の魔女であらせられるエリカ教の婚儀にようこそご参列を
Zepar and Furfur had appeared in the center of the cathedral. Having them invited to host a wedding was a great honor. Though they had asked for silence, the attendants who packed the cathedral welcomed the two demons with an enormous applause.
ゼパルたちではありませんか。では、ベアトは
I'm sure Beato is busy doing her thing.
もうこの会場に紛れ込んでいるかもしれませんな。
Depends on where exactly. They searched for Beato in the crowd of several hundred people, but they couldn't find her anywhere.
ベアトはバトラ君を救う方法を見つけられたでしょうか。
ゼパルとフルフルの力を得られたならきっとあの方々の力を得て成し遂げられぬ奇跡はないのですか。
もしも得られなかった。
Well, that's the thing. If she didn't, then she wouldn't even be in the cathedral. Then, if she did, then she might be hiding.
その辺でハンカチを噛んでるヤギがお嬢様でしょうな。
How do you know?
それでは新郎新婦の入場を迎えよう。
厳かに迎えて、どうか二人の門出を祝ってほしい。
Celebrate them as they start on their new life.
いでよ新郎新婦。
Yay! We're finally reading through a wedding. At the meantime.
墓場まで逃れられぬ婚姻という名の束縛の道を歩まれん。
The big doors in the back of the cathedral slowly opened. And then the territory lord and his beautiful bride came into view. Arm in arm, the pair slowly began to walk down the path to the grave, quote unquote, lined with red carpet. Yeah, you see? This is where the prologue leads up. The Chiester honor guards stood at attention along either side of that path, raised their adorned bayonets with mechanical precision, and made sure that no evil could block the path that the pair walked down. Chiester's sisters that weren't part of the honor guard were stationed all over the cathedral, hiding behind pillars and the like, keeping an eye out for any intruders.
00より45、410異常ないか。
天井狙撃手異常ないに。
410 and 45 were on top of a massive chandelier hanging from the cathedral's ceiling. Several other sniper pairs could be seen stationed on top of other chandeliers. This seemingly festive cathedral was actually being heavily guarded in places that the attendants wouldn't notice.
現在ベアトリーチェ教と歌川式参列者36名と襲撃可能地帯の131名を同時捕捉監視中。
Ah,
警戒を怠るな。必ずベアトリーチェ教は婚儀を襲撃するはずだ。
嫁を奪いに襲撃なんて燃えるに。410嫁じゃないです、婿です。嫁で合ってるに。
so goofy. The Chiester sniper teams on the chandeliers used super high efficiency observers to track the movements of the several hundred attendants. If any one of those made any suspicious movements, the Chiesters had been given permission to fire immediately. The one on that chandelier is Chiester 127. That overkilling monster sniper could pulverize a human target from 2 kilometers away. Sorry, that got a little... My throat is a little winded for a moment there. The one on the chandelier across from that is Chiester 20. Her firing rate is 6,000 shots per minute. 20. Is that it? Is that ever a mention? Oh wow. There is Featherine. Where is the... Huh, well then. No Chiesters. 6,000 shots per minute. However, she's using a portable magazine this time, so 2 seconds is all it'll take for her to use up her air ammo. Lazy bum can barely do her job for 2 seconds. Niet. God. Slowly, and making a show of it, the two walked down the red carpeted path. Battler's eyes were blank. If you look closely, you could probably tell that Erika was dragging him by the arm she held. In other words, they weren't walking together. This was a ceremony for Erika to show off to everyone that this man belonged to her. Behind the bride and groom walked the 7 sisters of purgatory, who held long ceremonial arms in the shape of the one-winged eagle.
バトラのバカ、何をぼんやりしてるのよ。これだから無能と言われるのよ。
Yeah, they call him the incompetent meme.
ベアトリーチェ様のお心の痛みが誰にもわかるわ。バカバトラーがロジックエラーなんて起こすからこんなことに。バカバカバカ。
I mean, it all started when his fucking dumbass decided to, like, gave Erika, the advantage beforehand, before all that stupid logic error happened.
ベアトリーチェ様が怠惰にこの婚儀を見過ごすわけがない。
当然よ。ベアトリーチェ様は強欲なお方。自分のおもちゃをみすみす人に譲るわけもないわ。必ずおいでになる。ジュルリー、披露宴は美味しい料理がいっぱい出そうだね。ああ、私も早く花嫁衣装着たい。
You know, I find Asmodeus the more annoying than Beelzebub. But, considering that Asmodeus is like the youngest out of the 7, then I'm not surprised. Bern Castle and Lambda Delta were in the nobles' seating on the balcony. They were sipping some bizarre carbonated cocktails as they looked down upon the show.
素敵な花嫁衣装じゃない。いいわね、こういうの。前座よ、こんなの。ひどいわね。どっちのイベントが真打ちなのよ。まさかベルン、本気でベアトが来ると思ってんの？あんたも知っての通り、バトラの密室は完璧よ。ベアトに勝てる道理なんてないわ。そうでしょ？あんたも聞いてるでしょ？隣部屋の窓は封印を破られてる可能性があるのよ。ドラノールがそれを一応は封じたようだけど、概念否定をしただけで窓を塞いだわけじゃない。また窓から飛び出すわよ。片翼のわしとやらが。かけない？ベアトが来るかな？絶対来るにかける。奇跡的に来るにかける。ああ、成立しないわね、こりゃ。
The Witch of Certainty and the Witch of Miracles were both sure that Beato would come. However, they were very interested in exactly how she would break the closed room and take Battler back.
あんたは裏から見たから知ってるんでしょ？トリック。一応ね。でもエリカが頑張りまくっちゃったから、もう私にもさっぱりよ。嘘つき。へえ。
Like, huh?
あんたはきっともう気づいてるんだわ。あるんでしょ？バトラーを救うトリックが。
Well, it depends on the trick, that is.
あるわ。でも難しいわ。その手を使うとベアトの心臓の一端がさらされる。
そうでしょ。
なんだ、分かってるじゃない。
ねえ、賭けを変えない？
何に？
Jeez.
勝つのはベアとかエリカ。
あんたがエリカにかけるって言うならいいわよ。
乗るわ。
お、エリカにかけるの？
I mean, of course she's gonna bet on Erika. Like, Erika is like Berncastle's piece, so.
勝ち目の根拠は？
もしそのトリックがベアとの心臓の一端だというなら、ゲームマスターのバトラーはそれを晒すのに躊躇する。だから勝てない。おそらく引き分けよ。ケムに巻いてうまく逃げるに決まってるわ。
バトラーはベアトを安らかに眠らせると誓ってるのよ。それはベルン、甘いな。
The bet was made, based on the assumption of that certain miracle that Beato would come. Virgilia, who was standing in the front row, tried to call out as soon as Battler walked by. She tried to tell him that the window seal on the next room over hadn't been checked, hoping that this would give him a hint. However, she had been marked perfectly. The instant she tried to lean forward, two Chiester sisters right behind her grabbed her arms. That powerful force told her that she wouldn't be able to move even a step forward. Trapped, she was forced to stand there and watch as Battler walked past.
バトラー
彼は今もたった一人密室で戦っておられます。しかしあの密室は自分だけの力では抜けられない。誰かが助けに来なければ抜けられない。
Yeah, that's the weird part. Like, he made that bed himself to lie on, but he cannot get out of bed. So he has to rely on someone to save him.
あの子が助けに来なければバトラー君は出られないのですね。
密室の鍵さえあれば必ずその方法をお嬢様ならきっと。お嬢様、あなたの人生にはきっと何度も試練があったでしょう。しかしどうかこの試練にだけはお打ち勝ちください。あなたならきっとできます。このロノン、それを疑いません。
The bride and groom's procession. The real trial is whether Beatrice can save Battler and go up against Erika, huh? I don't know. Where is Beatrice gonna come from this time? Makes me wonder, you know? The bride and groom's procession slowly advanced down the path to the grave and reached the altar. So, walking slowly was ceremonious and proper etiquette. It was also tiring. Erika glanced over at Battler. Of course, his eyes were blank. His heart was still inside that closed room. Once more, The sound of the Chiester honor guard stamping their heels rang out loudly. Silence returned to the cathedral again. Now the wedding ceremony would finally begin.
人は愛のために生きるのです。すなわち今日あなた方は生まれてきた意味を目的を成し遂げた。
生きる力、愛の力のなんと偉大なことか。今日という日の輝きがどうかお二人を永遠に祝福しますように。
さあ愛し合う二人を、愛の制約を。物言えぬ夫に代わりて、
妻は二人を代表して制約を。バトラはエリカを、エリカはバトラを。健やかな日もやめる日も支え合って生きることを誓います。
I mean, he can't even respond. Like, of course, Erika has to speak on his behalf.
聞こえませんよ、バトラさん。文句があるならもっとはっきり大きな声で言ってください。それ以上の文句が終わりでしたら、まずはロジックエラーの密室からお出になってからにしてください。安心して、その日まで永遠に私があなたを支えてあげますから。
You know, even Erika is creepy with her wedding dress on. It's just like that in the prologue.
二人の愛の制約を聞きました。ああ、誓いよ、永遠なれ。
The thunderous applause celebrated their marriage of subordination. After the oath, they would symbolize the bond. It was the exchanging of the rings. The territory lord's ring with the one-winged eagle engraved on it that sat on Battler's finger would become Erika's. By this, she would become the ruler of this game board, and in exchange, Battler's finger would be given a diamond ring that Erika had prepared. At a glance, it just looked like a ring adorned by a large diamond. However, this cursed ring would force Battler into eternal subservience and mark him as another's property.
さあ、二人は指輪の交換を。
The cursed wedding ring.
身動きできぬ夫の指を妻はどうか支えてあげて。
Oh no. If Battler puts on the cursed ring, then it's over. You know, story, you know, all hope is all hope is gone. We even got an image thumbnail for this one. Erika respectfully took Battler's right hand, then slowly pulled off the territory lord's ring that had been on his ring finger. That was the ring Beato had entrusted him with. Erika stole it away.
これがあの女の残した指輪なんですよね。それを私みたいな女に奪われるのってどんな気持ちですか？
Tohi?
聞こえません。もう一度お願いします。
地獄。もちろん。
なんだ。それならご安心を、バトラさん。
Erika pressed her lips up against Battler's earlobe as if biting it and told him where they were.
ここがそこですよ。
Then slowly, she took Beato's ring, which she had stolen from Battler, and slipped it onto her own left hand.
では花嫁、続いてあなたの指輪を花婿に。
すごい指輪ね。彼を永遠に逃がさない。これは枷だわ。
So it's the ring that is gonna put him in a shackle permanently, so you can't like remove it, huh?
特注ですから。
I wonder who made it, I wonder. Even Battler's blank eyes could see the diamond ring Erika held. It was like Erika herself. On the outside, it shone beautifully and possessed an absolute hardness that would bend to no one's will. And on the inside, to symbolize never letting go of the prey it had lashed onto. It had 8 sharp thorns pointing inwards. Wow. Beautiful on the outside, lethal on the inside. If they had been growing out of the outer side, it would have looked like the collar of a guard dog from hell. However, whoever heard of putting those on the inside? Yeah, I wonder how you could do that. Sounds like more of a torture device if you ask me. By twisting the diamond, those thorns could slide in or out. In other words, if you twisted it after thrusting the finger inside, the inward-facing thorns would bite down, never releasing until the end of time. Then, even his soul would be trapped, and his body, mind, and soul would be forced to serve Erika for all eternity. Who the hell would wear a ring like that? He couldn't even finish speaking that simple phrase. Yeah, exactly. Who the hell would wear that? Even if it's part of like, you know, the jewelry aesthetic, that's... Leave it for like, I don't know, some sort of capital punishment if you ask me. And furthermore, those awkward words were the only way he could resist. She raised Battler's left hand and stroked his ring finger as if tasting it. Erika passed a ring of sub-ornation against the tip of his finger. If a ring is made to fit too tightly, it can be painful and hard to take it off. However, this ring was never intended to be removed for life anyway, so its inner band had been mercilessly narrowed. Even without the thorns, forcing a small ring like this on would hurt.
この指輪はあなたの身も心も魂も全てを永遠に閉じ込めます。そしてあなたは永遠に生きた人形。死ぬことも許しません。私に永遠に怪我され恥ずかしめられ、私が勝利の美酒の味を忘れるたびに、あなたはその身をもって私にそれを思い出させるのです。何度も何度もね。舌が噛めるなら今のうちにどうぞ。指輪が通れば
それすらもできなくなりますから。
Defiled and humiliated by Erika. I wonder if Erika fans would enjoy that kind of stuff. I don't even know if this is like an attempt of an NTR tag, if you ask me. You know, Erika stealing Battler away from Beato. Oh no. Battler is gonna permanently become like the Beato, but like a husk of a doll. Battler didn't even have the strength to bite his tongue. Even if he had, he didn't want to give up before finding a way to escape the closed room, so he couldn't kill himself. However, if he accepted the ring, he would never be able to even think about escaping from the room, much less commit suicide. This is just a terror to be withheld.
ダメです。ほら、指入れますよ。
Did she finally stick that, cursed diamond ring in? It wasn't just the pain of having his finger forced through the tight ring. The curse of the ring fiercely tormented Battler's body from the inside. That pain would always torment Battler, but fortunately, the power of the ring even stole away the heart that could understand that pain. Erika kept screwing that too small demon's ring on. With an obscene laugh, Erika let a silver thread drip from her mouth and soaked the finger in the ring.
力を抜いてください。一気に奥まで入れちゃいますから。無駄な抵抗なんかしないでください。抵抗しない方が痛くないですよ。ほら、胸って入るようになった。
Use something similar to loop for the ring to like slightly fit in the ring finger, huh? Slowly, Battler's finger went deeper through the ring. He was pushed through the iron ring of pain and humiliation, which would never be removed again. Oh, it's not the gold ring with the diamond on it. It's a fucking iron ring. Well, that's fucking unfortunate. It'd be unfortunate if their iron ring is rusted too, which would never be removed again. Actually, even this is a better thumbnail than that one. Might choose that between the two.
一番奥まで入りましたよ。
痛い。痛い。
I would hate to wear that, honestly. Especially if it's gonna if the thorn's gonna like jab inward to the finger. God, the demon's ring tightened around the finger so much that it seemed the finger would snap off along with the bone. Could Badler's hazy expression of anguish really describe how unbearable this filthy pain was?
さあ、一番奥まで入れたまま最後の仕上げですよ。
What the fuck's the final touch?
これでもうあなたは永遠に私のもの。
Oh, I thought the ring was the final touch. Erika touched the ring's diamond knob. If she twisted it, the thorns would bite in and never let go again.
いいですよ。許してください、エリカ様って言えたらやめてあげます。
本当。
お許しください、エリカ様。生涯を犬として扱われ、首輪につながれて生きることを誓いますから、この指輪だけはお許しくださいって。そう言えたら、この指輪だけは許してあげます。はい。よく聞こえませんよ。
Yeah, never trust Erika because she won't fulfill your wish.
絶対てめえを許さねえ。
Well, that's the thing. That's Battler's weakness. He's so vulnerable and incompetent that, like, we have to bully him enough to make it so that he'll hate the opponent. So
あなたをこんな目に遭わせちゃって。
違う。ベアトの指輪を怪我したお前を俺は絶対許さねえ。
Though Battler's eyes had supposedly been forced into a muddled condition, they appeared strong for just an instant. However, it really was only for an instant. Battler had used up the last of his fleeting resistance just to say those words. In his dim consciousness, he had even bitten his own tongue to stay alert, so that he could say those words of resistance until the very end.
やはりあなたは飼いならせない犬って感じです。でもそこがいい。
Erika smiled. Then she turned the diamond. In that instant, Battler let out a voiceless scream and threw his head back. Seems it's already over. His howl had no voice and could be heard by no one. However, it still rang out throughout the cathedral. Why don't you look at that? 40 minutes in and end of chapter. The Duel of the Lovers. A dreary breeze blew through the golden rose garden. Shannon and Kanon had already finished walking 19 steps, their backs still facing each other. When the demons conducting the trial gave the signal, they would both turn and settle this. Each had one of the dueling pistols given by the demons in their hands. The bullets promised certain death no matter where on the body they hit. This duel would not end until one of them died. George and Jessica just quietly watched the ones they loved. They had already entrusted all of their thoughts to them, as well as their fates. Just watching over their partners was now the only way they could show their trust. Don't you look at that? 19 steps done before they fired away their gun. Shannon and Kanon stood quietly with their backs turned. They had already set aside the feelings they'd built up during all those days they'd known each other. The next time they laid eyes on the other, nothing would be asked of them except pulling that trigger. The only one who still couldn't muster any determination or resolve towards this duel was Beato. The closer that moment came, the less she understood. The love between George and Shannon wasn't standing in the way of the love between Jessica and Kanon, or vice versa. Why, when both sides could find happiness, were they being forced to kill each other?
わからない。私にはどうしてもわからない。妹よ、我らには見守ることしか許されん。ゼパルさん、フルフルさん、どうしてこんな決闘を？こんなの恋の試練じゃない。やっぱりあなたたちは悪魔なんです。
I mean, they are. Duh.
どちらかの恋人たちを破綻させて、それを見て喜びたいだけの悪魔なんです。
静かに。
恋人たちの邪魔になるわ。
邪魔をしてるのはあなたたちじゃないですか。どちらかが倒れる。倒れた方の恋人たちが嘆き悲しむ。あなたたちさえいなければ誰も悲しまない。
それは違う。
What do you mean?
僕たちがこの決闘を取り持たなかったら、
二組はどちらも破綻したわ。これは必要な決闘なの。
私は最初から納得できなかったんです。魔法の奇跡がなければ恋って成し遂げられないんですか？恋って愛し合う二人さえいれば他に何もいらないんじゃないんですか？
What does love need other than two people who love each other?
この決闘は無意味です。
Well, can mean many things, but fortunately seems to be the case. That ain't the case for this one.
だからやめて、二人とも。シャノンもカノンも。あんなにも実の兄弟のように仲良しだったあなたたちがどうして殺し合わなくちゃいけないの？私にはどうしてもわからない。
Everyone should have been able to hear Beato's yell. However, no one's expression changed.
そうだよ。よく気づいたね。
それこそ愛の真実。
何がですか？
愛し合う二人以外に本来は何もいらないんだ。
だからそれが二人でない時、私たちは決闘でその数を二人にしなくてはならない。
一人の女性を奪い合っての決闘ならまだわかります。愛し合ういびつな三人を二人にする決闘。しかし彼らは二人と二人。
I mean, if it's like a love triangle, it would make sense, but if we have like two pairs, I guess whichever pair comes off as truly the happiest tends to win. I don't know.
それぞれの世界はもう完成されてるじゃないですか。争わなければならない理由が何もない。
世界を生み出す最小の人数は二人。
二人が揃って初めて世界は生まれ、恋は成就される。
だからこの決闘は必要なんだ。
彼らがその人数を満たすために。
家具は人間未満だから一人を満たせないと言い出すんですか？
I mean, Furniture is on the he's usually tend to be on the bottom tier of the hierarchy, so I don't know about the term subhuman before.
正解だよ。
Oh god, yeah.
家具は人間未満。
Bruh.
だから家具と人間じゃ二人を満たせない。
そんなのおかしいです。愛し合う二人の身分なんて関係ない。
いいや、あるよ。本当に愛し合う二人の身分は関係ないの？
妻を持つ男との恋は許されるの？夫を持つ女との恋は許されるの？
Well, there is a thing called polygamy, but I guess not.
親との恋は許されるの？子との恋は許されるの？恋の許されない身分なんていくらでもある。
じゃあ家具って何なんですか？
I get the logic, but even then, it's like
どうして家具は恋をしちゃいけないんですか？
魂が一人に満たないから。シャノンもカノンも駒である君ももちろん。
あなたたちはみんな家具。魂が一人分に満たないから人間以下。
oh, you would call Chick Beato subhuman? Oh, that fucking sucks.
人を愛する資格はただ一つ。
Even if it's even if the Chick Beato is not actually the Beato itself, but that's just lame. What the hell?
一人に満たつ魂を持っていること。だから愛し合う二人は世界を生み出せる。
例えば妻を持つ男はもう一人の女を愛する資格を持つと思う？
あるわけがない。二人の女を愛せば その愛情は一人分に満たない。そのような男に愛する資格はない。
ね、人を愛する資格のない人間や身分なんていくらでもあるの。二人の愛の一切あれば関係ない？それは甘い愛の偽善。
As long as both people feel love, nothing else matters. Is the hypocrisy of naive love. Hmm. I mean, there is the hypocrisy of amongst everything.
僕たちはね、恋をする資格を偽る人間を許さない。
I can't believe we're actually learning the philosophy of how love works. This, when Umineko is teaching me the philosophy of love.
世界を生み出す最小人数を満たせない人間以下の存在の恋を許さない。
Okay, well, I don't know if that would be some sort of philosophical thing, but sure.
僕たちの試練はそのためにある。罪深き魂たちに一人分の魂を取り戻させ、本当の恋ができるようにするために。
ゼパル様、フルフル様。
僕たちの心の準備ができました。
どうか決闘の合図をお願いします。
The pair, bidding farewell, quietly asked for the signal to be given. Zepar nodded silently, then walked to a place that could be seen by both of them. Furfur spoke in a voice quiet enough to avoid distracting the two duelists.
見ているといいわ。
愛し合う恋人たちのどちらかが破綻する決闘を。
いいえ、これは破綻のための決闘じゃない。本当の恋を成就させるための決闘。
私にはあなたたちの言っている意味がわからない。
いいえ、わかりなさい。これは本当に人を愛することができる人間が誕生する瞬間。
意味がわからない。
What part does she mean that she doesn't understand? Because the thing is, like, if she's gonna watch the duel, if she can watch the duel, then that would mean that it gives her a hint of how she can go up against Erika and to save Battler, right?
どちらが勝とうとも、どうか祝福してあげて。今彼らの家具としての日々が終わる。
合図は簡単。僕が1、2の3を数える。3と同時に決闘開始だ。
承知してます。
同じく。
2人が共に弾を外したら一度中断。再び弾を与え、もう一度背中合わせからやり直し。
決着がつくまで繰り返したろ。
ゼパル、この決闘過去に何度も見てるのかい？
もちろん何度も見てきたよ。
大抵何度の打ち合いで決着がつくんだい？
ほとんどの場合弾丸一発で決着がつくよ。
みんな随分と拳銃の腕がいいんだな。
違うよ。片方が外せば残った方は悠々と追い詰めて撃つことができる。初段をもし外したらまず勝ち目はないね。
しかしぼんやりしていれば引き金も引けずに負けることになる。
同じ負けるならせめて引き金を引いてから負けたい。
いい覚悟だよ、二人とも。では行くよ。
Oh shit. The duelist start is about to start.
1
ニノ
Ah, reminiscing the good times.
3
In the golden rose garden, when the number 3 was yelled, the sound of gunfire rang out once. Even the people watching couldn't tell whether that was a single gun firing or the sound of both going off at the same time. In the midst of the stench of gunpowder and white smoke, there was gun raised and smoke trailing the barrel was Kanon, and lying on the earth was Shannon.
シャノンさん。いや、シャノンが倒れたのは銃声より早かった。
She fell before she fired the gun? That's... Well, at least Jessica will be happy with Kanon, but but with what cost? Jessica's distressed expression was enough to explain what had happened. Slowly, Shannon stood up. There was no bullet wound anywhere on her body. At the time of the signal, Shannon had thrown herself to the ground, dodging the bullet. It had been a bet. If Kanon had turned around and taken the time to aim carefully before shooting, then he would have shot her as she lay there. Well then. As she lay there. However, if Kanon shot as soon as he turned around, she would be able to dodge it. But I guess the rule doesn't say that we're not allowed to dodge, so well, seems like it's the case, you know. That's amusing in a way. But that's the thing, right? You know, if you forget, when in doubt, when you're in a duel, when you're in the duel with only one bullet, might as well take the chance to dodge, right? If Kanon had also made a bet. He did not underestimate Shannon's skill with the firearm. He was fully aware that if he assumed Shannon would be timid enough to let him shoot first, he would lose before even pulling the trigger. So, he had decided to shoot right away, and he had predicted that when he shot, Shannon would reflexively pull the trigger too. Since he intended to shoot right away, he would be more mentally prepared, so he was confident that he'd be able to shoot accurately. If Kanon had cautiously turned around, and Shannon had shot instantly with the strength of her will, then Kanon wouldn't even have been able to pull the trigger. So, no impatience on Kanon's part was to blame here. The two had simply given it their all, left their fates to the heavens, and reached this result.
まさかあの短気な姉さんが撃たないなんてね。
私も意外だった。あの慎重なカノン君が振り向きざまなんてね。
As Shannon quietly pointed the barrel at him, she slowly walked forward. She planned on cautiously closing the gap until she reached a distance from which she could hit with even more certain accuracy. And Kanon had already lost any means of fighting back. He could only try to dodge Shannon's bullet and place his bet on the second round. If they both thought this, then what happened next would turn that assumption on its head.
まだ終わっちゃいない。
Kanon dashed forward like a tornado, bent over so low that he was almost crawling over his shadow. This duel could only be settled by a bullet, but he wasn't the only one who had a bullet. If he could steal Shannon's gun away from her, he could turn this fight around. And if Shannon calmly shot through Kanon, it would end. The odds that Shannon would miss, or that he could get close enough to her before she fired. Kanon would bet all the chips he had on them. Shannon would draw Kanon in until the last second, then shoot him from a closer distance. If she pulled the trigger just before he reached her, then even if she missed, they would just start again from the beginning. Shannon kept her gun pointing at Kanon's forehead as she compared these options until the final moment. She led her shot, calculating the distance he had already moved and the time it would take to pull the trigger. The goddess of fortune smiles impartially.
しまった。
Surviving past the final moment Shannon could have shot, Kanon barreled into her chest. He then swung his hand up and knocked the gun Shannon held into the air. That strike sent Shannon's gun flying into the sky. At the same time, Kanon's gun also flew from his hand and danced through the air. The two guns danced a rondo through the sky, reached their peak, and began to fall. By that time, neither knew whose gun was which. Yes, a 50-50 chance. The two guns were exactly the same. Everything about them was identical. There was no way to tell them apart. However, there was one difference. Only one of them had a bullet inside. The pair raised their hands to the sky, trying to grasp their fate, their miracle. It was as though they were trying to grasp the wings of a descending angel of miracles. The pair looked up at the brilliant sky and entrusted everything to the goddess of fortune. Then, they each grabbed one of the guns out of the air, and after dancing a momentary rondo, their arms crossed each other. Even that had been like a dance. Then, they each pressed the barrel of their gun up against the other's forehead, both as steady as a rock. Even they could not know which gun held the bullet. When they both pressed the triggers, one would die and one would remain alive. The match would end. George and Jessica wouldn't know the result until that moment came. However, was it really impossible for the two holding the guns to know? The muzzle of Kanon's gun, which had already been fired, must have been warm. And the muzzle of the other gun, which Shannon hadn't fired, should have been ice cold. So perhaps the pair of them did realize which gun was which, and yet both expressions were solemn. The faces of those who would believe in their fate unswervingly until the moment the triggers were pulled. I see. So if the gun was fired, then the firearm would be warm. But if it has not been fired, then it's cold. But, you know, I guess that's one way to tell the difference. Till the moment the triggers were pulled. Oh shit! So it's not Shannon who got killed this time.
おい、どうした？しっかりしろ！
Suddenly, Kanon fell to the floor as if he'd had an attack of anemia. It had happened without any warning beforehand, so everyone rushed up to him in alarm. What they saw surprised them. There was a single strand of blood across his forehead, making it look as though it had cracked open.
そんな。どうしたんだ？どういうことだ？これは。
Well, we're approaching our 10 minutes, so to find out. We'll find out more about what happens during the aftermath of Kanon's death after the whole dueling shenanigans had happened. But, you know, it seems this is what happened here, you know. Battler is now eternally trapped by Erika, and it seems the only other way is for someone else to rescue him. Someone has to rescue for him, it seems. So maybe who knows, whether it's Beato that can rescue or someone else. Who would have figured? Alright, with that said, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.